the event that I was learning this game for, DOS Cathlon, actually runs it at 1400 cycles. So, I learned under 1400 cycles, stepped up the game to 1444, which basically all that does is make the game faster, makes the game a little smarter against you. But was able to pull out a 2003. I will continue to work on that after the after doing the tutorial here. I will continue working on that. Then I would like to get it under a 20-minute time, which hopefully I will be able to do. I know that I have the capability. It may take me a few tries to warm up and to get there. However, I am very, very excited to crush that time and make it as challenging as possible for anyone else who wants to come against it. And I beg you, if you're watching the tutorial right now, please do it. Jump in. Try to beat that score. I beg you. We need more bodies for the swarm, for the horde, yeah, you know what it's about. Jump in, do your business, beat the time, make me happy. I don't mind having the record. I just mind the fact that there's not enough of us running it that record should stand. So please, I beg you, get in, run it, do your business, get it done. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and launch Mega Man 3 for DOS. And then we're going to start talking about it. What little I understand, what little I know. Hopefully I know a little bit, but that's not always going to be correct. So if I am incorrect, I apologize. Feel free to correct me, and I will make sure that it is corrected under this. I just got... Hold on. There. I did a weird thing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is Mega Man 3. Mega Man 3 for DOS. First and foremost, strong recommendation that you find yourself a good controller and use Joy-to-Key to control the game. If you do not, you will be having a not good time. You will have a hard time. You will have a bad time. If you want to use a arcade stick, I got an arcade stick over here. You could do that. I tried actually doing this on an arcade stick as well. It did not end well. However, controller, and as you can see, I'm using a Buffalo controller. It's actually for Super Nintendo games, but it works well enough for Mega Man, considering all you have to do is jump, shoot, and pause. This does well enough on all of those. Does more than well enough on all of those. So, the game, of course, here, as you can see, was made by High-Tech Expression. It was published by High-Tech Expressions under a Rosner Labs production. This game was actually created, for the most part, by a single man. Mr. Rosner and his brother made Mega Man for DOS, as well as Mega Man 3 for DOS. There's actually two of these, both made by the same pair of individuals. Mr. Rosner's brother actually did the art. Mr. Rosner himself did the programming, the design, and everything else. He did everything else. So, Capcom has their name on this, obviously, because it's their intellectual property. However, Capcom didn't do anything for this game. They basically gave it a nod and said, "Hey, go ahead, do what you want to do." And so they made the game. And of course, you can see it was made in '92. Making this game 26 years old. So this game is older than a lot of people probably watching this right now. Anyways, as you can see, it is a fairly standard looking Mega Man setup. By the way, there is no music for the game, so I've got this music going on in the background. I will kill it when I'll actually make the attempts. There is no music for the game. Unfortunately, they did not have anything music-wise to be able to add to this. However, they do have sound effects, albeit the lovely, bouncing, joyous DOS bloops and bleep sounds. So get used to that pretty quickly if you're going to start running this or playing this all together. As you can see, there are 6 bosses, and in fact, there are only 6 boxes plus Wily. If you look closely at each of these bosses, you'll notice something very unusual about these bosses. They are not the 3 bosses from the NES title, Mega Man 3. They are actually 6 completely different bosses who, if you're paying attention, happen to share some very, very, very similar features to other bosses from other Mega Man games prior to Mega Man 3 and earlier. You'll notice that there is a Torchman. Torchman looks an awful lot like Magnet Man, who's had the magnet ripped off of his face. Bitman has a very strong resemblance to Hardman, just a little bit different color. Oil Man, down there in the bottom left-hand corner, looks a lot like Flashman, except he's red and he has a little face mask pushed up over his mouth. And then we have Wave Man, who looks an awful lot like Airman. We also have Sharkman and Blade Man. I'm not sure if they have a resemblance to other characters at the particular moment in time. I think Blade Man looks like something that was probably in Mega Man 3 for an NES. Sharkman is just there. Alright, so for the sake of a speedrun purposes, I'm going to take them in the order that I would normally do, what I do to take them out with their weaknesses. Also, hello everybody from Subspace Radio. Appreciate everybody joining me. I'm doing a tutorial right now for Mega Man 3 DOS. And I'm going to go ahead and actually start working on one of the stages. I'm going to go ahead and look at Sharkman. You have to use the left and right arrows to switch around, and Mega Man happens to be kind of the center at the top, so it kind of circles kind of weird, but whatever. So Sharkman, you have to hit the enter key, or I actually have my L key set to that. Don't ask why it's L key instead of like start. So it's going to load the stage. Takes a few moments, and you can see one of the other oddities that is Mega Man 3 DOS is that you can swim as Mega Man. There are, as far as I'm aware of, no other Mega Man games, or very few other Mega Man games, where you swim as Mega Man. And as you can see, if you get hit underwater, you get launched pretty far. So, aside that little oddity, it's pretty much Mega Man. Right now, for reference sake, I do have the game running on 1400 cycles. The run that I would normally do is at 1444. I'm just doing it at 1400 for speed's sake, and gives me a moment to breathe while I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. So essentially, you move and shoot, but you kind of move like you're running on ice underwater here. So you kind of sled a little bit. But the challenge of a lot of these stages, and you'll find very quickly, is that unlike a normal Mega Man game, the stages themselves are not linear whatsoever. I didn't even see that guy. They're not linear whatsoever. So, for you to be able to beat a stage, you have to find the pathway like a labyrinth, and then beat the boss of the stage. So, it's very, very, very labyrinth-esque. It's very, very, very cryptic in that regard. So, as you can see, I'm running around this big area here. We're underwater. I really don't want to tangle with that guy, but I'm going to run back over here. Oh, I did take that already. Never mind. So, the very first thing on this stage, if you're going the path that you need, you start up top somewhere, you keep swimming right. Eventually, you'll come across a mast right about here. There should be a squid that floats up. And from there, we dive straight down and then around into the sunken ship. This one, you just keep going. Here, you just keep going straight left. You can, here, I'm going to go ahead and kill these guys. You can see they spit an arc of, a bullet arcing over the barrels there. When you come down through here, one thing you have to keep careful of is that there is a guy running here back and forth. If you dive down and just barely come under this under awning here, you should be able to miss getting hit by that enemy. You can just swoop right under, slide under, and then either go up through here, killing that guy on this ledge, or just keep swimming over here and coming up through here as quickly as you can. You come up the ladder, You can see there's a the squiddy guy. By the way, if you get caught on the floor, you do run slower, so you really don't want to spend time walking on any ledge. But you can walk on that ledge if you need to get good balance, keep your character from floating and sledding everywhere. To come off of it, you either walk off the edge or you hit jump, and that'll actually disconnect you from the floor. Those guys do shoot a boomerang, so you need to watch out for that. I'm going to go ahead down here and show you what's down here. There is actually another guy down here shooting the boomerang of death, but there is a health down here. If you feel that you've already taken way too much damage, you can come down here on the side of the boat and get that health. That is a good safety health. It takes a little bit to get to, but another note, as you're floating through the game, you will take an immense amount of damage. Be careful about what you take the damage from. If you get bodied, aka you run right into an enemy, you're going to take a lot of damage. If you get hit by a projectile, you're not going to take nearly as much. So if you're going to take a hit, make sure you're taking those hits from projectiles and not from the enemies themselves. Okay, so we pass through here, we kill that guy on that ledge, or just go over him. There's two pathways here. You can see the right, obviously blank, and the one on the left here leads us on. You see spikes. Oh my goodness, we have sleddy, icy physics underwater, and we have spikes. No worries. Those spikes do not instantly kill you. They only take 1 or 2 bars of health, which is not bad at all. But they do kind of magnet you up into the spike, so you really have to make sure you're moving very, very quickly after you've gotten hit. Otherwise, you're going to be just playing on the spikes for a while. If you come back to this left side, you see there's not really anything here at all, so going to the left there is completely pointless. I will do an actual run through the stage once I've actually shown the pathway here. So again, you make your way from the top down around into the ship here. Make your way through the ship, through this doorway here. Go left into this little tunnel. And then immediately hang a right at the bottom. Obviously, the path that looks more dangerous is the path that you want to go to. That's usually how these wonderful labyrinths go. Here is a squid. You can either take your time to shoot him down, and you want to do it from that ledge. Otherwise, he will kind of stun lock you. And then swoop around here in the bottom. Kill that guy there. And just follow this pathway. Anything that drops, by the way, is random. Health drops. Health can drop. Weapon power-ups can drop. And 1-ups can drop. They do not drop E-tanks, but there are E-tanks in the stages. There are E-tanks in many stages. So here, as you can see exactly what I mean by stun lock you. They can actually kind of grab you and keep throwing you up into themselves. Once you run around this pattern, you're going to run into this guy here and the squid. You can either take the hit and fly to the top and then come back down. Or if you're quick enough, you can actually swim under the crab and try to maneuver around the squid. Obviously, taking no damage there is ideal, but as long as you can swim over or through where those guys are at, you're going to do all right for yourself. Come up here, we got another guy, another walker. We got another walker over here. You can actually kind of keep yourself on this ledge and hit him from here if you want to. If you can keep yourself swimming, you can kill him from there. Or you can do the real speed strat and just swim over him. You don't have to kill him. As a note through here, you do normally start walking on a ledge, but if you push yourself down here, you actually won't walk on these ledges. So normally on a place like this, you get kind of caught and you have to free yourself from the ground. Here, you don't. You can see kind of the coloration of the ground's a little different. You don't actually get caught here, so you can just press yourself against the ground as you whip around that corner. You will whip right into this crab guy here. There's two places he can go. Either straight up back where you came from, or back down through this little tunnel. If he comes back through that tunnel, it's kind of a bad luck thing, because he will kind of stun lock you and do a ton of damage to you as you try to pass through here. If he goes up, great, then you can just keep swimming through. Here, you just want to keep going right. I'm going to go down just to see what's down here, because I haven't been down here. There's a health there. I don't think I can get to it from here, so I think I'm just Yeah, you can't get to it from this side, so I'm just going to keep going up. If I die, that's fine. I fully expect to. One of the things you can do here with the spikes, if you just let it take you up, you can actually just use that to guide yourself. If you hit up, you do move faster, but obviously you still don't want to hit the spikes. So you can actually just let the currents bring you back up to the top. You can see if I just let go, your character just floats right back up. You can use that to get over the ledge and then just push yourself down onto it as you get over. Here, you just want to keep flowing straight to the right as quickly as you can. I'm going back to the left because I want to get these this health up. There we go. So there's a little health there, but you will be tangling with the fish, the clownfish. You will be fighting Nemo there. But ideally from here, when you pop into here, you just keep going to the right. Dodge the squids, and you just keep going down. Again, dodge the squids the whole way. See, I didn't dodge them there. And just keep going. Now, if you want to, you can venture into that little room there and grab the E-Tank. I'll do that just for giggle's sake. He can and will stun lock you pretty hard if you do that. Yeah, like I said, he's kind of a pain in the backside. So I have that E-Tank now. Now, ideally, it's not like... Oh, it passed me through. No, it didn't. Okay, I gotta keep going back. It passed me back farther than I thought it was going to. That's fine. So, this is the pathway back from about halfway through the stage. And you follow this path all the way back into the chamber. I killed that jumping squid there. Or jumping crab there. And we have the squiddies again. And you can see, they throw you around like a rag doll. You really don't want to keep running into them like I just did there. And if you want, like I said, you can grab the E-Tank from there. Now, to use your E-Tank or switch your weapons, you have to hit Enter. I believe it's Enter, right? Is it Enter? Hang on. Let's see. Escape, actually. I keep using my controller, so I don't remember where my controls are. Escape actually lets you open up your inventory. It opens up your skill list. As you can see, you have up to all of those 6 skills, including your normal Buster, which is the P. To switch your attack, you have to hit Escape and then select the attack you want to switch to. Like any good Mega Man, you are limited by ammo. But if you want to use your E-Tank, you come here and you press, you guessed it, E. Since I don't need to do that now, I'm just going to hit Escape again, or my Start button, which I have set up, and move on. Here's a fun little one to get used to, is this tunnel here. This tunnel here, right above that giant area of squids, you can just shoot straight up here. But lining yourself up might be difficult because you like to sled a little bit when you go back and forth when swimming. So if you want to line yourself up, if you want to take the time to line yourself up, you can actually drop to the ground, line yourself up as center as you can, and then just jump and push up. And you'll just swim all the way up. There are 2 guys there that you will have to contend with. They're not too bad. And you'll swim all the way up here out into the water one more time. Now here you want to, of course, go left, because we already know where the boss is, because when you go all the way to the right from the first part of the area, you see a room with a door. Those are your boss rooms. That, as we know, if we followed the pathway, we know is somewhere towards that left middle there. So we got to go back left to get to it. Again, dodging squids as best you can. They do home into, and you can see we have the boss chamber invisible in view. If you want some extra health, you can go down here, I believe. No, you can't. You can't go down there. So, sorry, lied. But if you come all the way to the left, you run into this wall, and then you just follow it up. If for some reason you go all the way to surface, you just obviously come down and go down and under that room. There is one more enemy to contend with, and that's this guy. Come down, pop him in the face, and then go in the door. And we have boss number... Oh, hey! That's the first time that's happened. Glitches happen. Normally, that doesn't happen, but in this case it did. To fight the bosses, you'll notice they do something very specific. They do fire guns, they do have their weapons, but they don't fire that weapon until they get to the far wall. until they get to the far wall, they will do this. They will just continue to jump over your head. All but one, I believe, of the mini bosses. No, all but two of the bosses do this. So there's 4 bosses that have this exact same pattern. They'll just jump over your head. And you can dodge them almost indefinitely. So, since we're on the first boss, we're going to take him down with a buster. And all the bosses can be taken down with a buster pretty easily. They really don't have any iframes, so just mash it as hard as you can. Stop shooting right before they jump. And you'll get them out. The reason why you want to stop shooting before they jump is because your bullets have to cross the screen completely to be able to disappear. That's not really bad for most of your weapons because they move fairly quick. One of the attacks is extremely slow, so if you fire it and it just keeps flying, you're basically sitting there waiting for a full couple of seconds for that to clear the screen. So taking out a boss, you kind of got to get the feel of the timing, how quickly to shoot him, and when to stop shooting so that you're not just wasting shots. You can jump and trail him if you're feeling gutsy and take more time, take less time to kill the boss. But just be careful. You're more likely to get hit by jumping through him than you are just standing there safely taking your shots. Unsafely, but faster, you can probably jump and shoot him through his jump. So that's Sharkman. So for the sake of seeing that quickly, I'm going to go ahead and relaunch. There's no really good way of doing this other than just relaunching. Again, still running at the 1400 cycles. And High-Tech Expressions, thank you very much. Rosner Labs, thank you very much. Mr. Rosner. Pew pew. You gotta use your fire button to make this progress. So yeah, the title screen, by the way, if you want to make it move quicker, you gotta use your shoot button. So we're gonna do Sharkman. We're gonna do it quickly. So this is what Sharkman should look like once you've gotten the path right and enemy dodging. So hopefully I do this well enough that I don't embarrass myself. So we got the pew pew cannon. I don't believe shooting slows you down at all. If it does, well then, there's that guy passed by him. If it does, well then I'm in trouble because I like to shoot as I float around because I get bored just going left or right. Swoop under here. This guy can't hit you. Swoop under here. Take him out since I did that. Actually, just dodge this guy. Try to dodge this guy. Or if you're getting just absolutely wrecked by him, you can take him out. Alright, keep going straight, then go right, back to the right here. Watch out for the spikes. It's very easy to swoop back in and kill that spike. I do take this guy out because he's a pain in the backside. It is good sometimes to kill these guys if you want to possibly get some safety lives. They do sometimes, very rarely, but they do sometimes. Ow. Okay, I can just swim by you now. So I just swim under him there. Ow. So you go too high there, you get a hit. The stuff does end up despawning if you wait too long, like any good Mega Man. So there's the crap. He went up, so we're doing good for ourselves. We don't have to worry about there. There we go. I'm lined up well enough there. So keep going right. Try not to get hit by anything. One more squid. Where you at? There you are. Go down. And go above the seaweed through the right. I'm not going after the E-tank because I don't need it. And hopefully lining up relatively correct. Holding up to make my character go a little faster. Don't go straight into the spikes. There we go. Left and left. And right into the guy shooting on the ground, who I never see because I usually go by quick enough. And another squid. I think we need to go up a little bit. Yes, we do. There we go. This guy here. Oh, I missed him. Oh well. Oh well. And into the boss. And we're done. So that's Sharkman. Now, again, that strategy I just used to kill Sharkman, you'll be able to use on 4 of the 6 bosses. 4 to 7 technically, or 8, even more technically. And of course, like any good Mega Man game, you get their weapon. So we do get the Shark Blade. So after Shark Man, we move on to Wave Man. We just keep going in a circle there for that one at least. So, as you could have guessed, Shark Blade is strong against the Wave Man. And in the Wave Man, we are brought to another stage. Now this one's on kind of a ship tanker. This one here, again, is... All these stages are kind of complicated. There's not really any straightforward method. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. So we just follow these ladders up. And you'll see there's this little thing sticking out to the side here. And we have Environmental Man. Who, as you can see, in 3 hits, has nearly killed me. This is the reason why you don't want to just run into the enemy. Is that what you see over there? That health bar? How badly I just got taken down? That's why you don't want to get bodied. You'll see you can't go to the right, so the only way you can go is to the left. That being said, I haven't gone in the water before. Is there anything down here? There's squids. Oh my goodness, there's all sorts of stuff down here. There's all sorts of things down here. I haven't gone down here before. Let's see what's down here. There's a health up. We'll take it. Since we just bodied ourselves. Alright. So, the real way you want to go, unless you really have to go back and get health immediately, is up. And then to the left. And we kill the environmental guy and just keep going. Normally in the speed run, you just want to keep running left and don't worry about these bees. I did not do that well enough there, so now they're just bodying me left and right. For here, speedrun rise, you either want to go up and over if you want to do it safely, or you can just jump here, which actually will save you time because we need to go down, not up. So we can dodge all the crap that's going on up top. Boop. And if you go left, you see you can't go left anymore, so we go right. Now next we're going to be introduced to another enemy that will be the bane of your existence. You cannot kill him, and it's very difficult to dodge him. So, we have the wall lasers. The wall lasers can become in one of 2 fashions. One is this purple bullet, which can hit any of the 8 cardinal directions. So, depending on where you're at, it will aim for you. And your hitbox is pretty huge, so he'll hit you pretty often. Thankfully, we know pretty much how they're shooting, so we can dodge it. But there are some stages where this guy is really, really bad to dodge. So, I'm going to start moving when he fires and make sure I jump and try to dodge what he can. Here in this stage, we also have these fire droplets. In other places, it's just water droplets. They're not too bad. They can be annoying. Here, the safe route is to actually jump over and go straight across. If you fall down, you're going to end up falling into a pit of fire, and you'll still have to make your way back up. Let me show you why these guys are bad. If you get hit by these blue orbs, not only do you get knocked back, you actually get knocked through the floor. So you really want to do your best, absolute best, not to get hit by these guys, because they will ruin your day. That being said, knowing that they can hit you through floors and through walls, there may be some places in this game that I haven't, or we haven't discovered yet, that you can actually get thrown through a wall and save time. So if you happen to figure that out, let me know. So, there's one of 2 paths you can take for here. And I'll go back up there. I died, I know. Okay, dodging the bullets. While dodging the fireballs. In this case, they're lit oil. We're going to take the northern route here, as we did before. You can go one of 2 ways here. You can go to the left here and deal with the Met, which is the guy that's on the ground that's shooting. Or you can go up and over the Met and then just drop down. That's safer. It may not be faster, but it's safer. And then just keep going down. So I did that very quickly. You come down from up top there, and you just come straight down, fall straight down. Now, there's 2 ways here you can go. If you really, really, really desperately hurting for an E-tank, you can take on the Crushers. It's very tedious, very time-consuming. If you're touching the Crusher as it comes across the flat, you do take damage. If it goes too high, you will take damage. If you get caught under it, you will take damage. Like that. And you will fall through, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, if you really, really desperately want that E-Tank, there are probably better places to get one, to be fair. But if you really desperately want to take out the Crushers, you can do that. So my recommendation as a speedrun would be not. Just don't. There are much better ones in much better places. We're going to go ahead and use that E-Tank. Full health. So all you want to do is just go under them. So you can completely avoid that entire section. Just go under it. Speedrun. Just go under it. Then we come to a ladder. You can reach that ladder from any one of these 3 steps if you're able to make the jump from the top step. If you're able to make the jump from the top step, you can hit it. Otherwise, you can hit it from the bottom. And there's really no sense in going to the right side and trying to hit it because you're going to get hit by that fire. And you can't anyway. So, come up the ladder. There's another drop of oil fire there. Move fairly quickly because if you stand on the left here and you're too far out, you will get hit by that. You can go up and deal with it here. And try not to fall in the fire. The fire hurts too. You can also hit him from here, but he will shoot at you, so make sure you jump. And then we're on to pretty close to the final straightaways here. We got another shooter here. If you want health, you can go through the shooters and up and grab it. Otherwise, you just need to make your way to the right. And try not to jump into the fire. Then we deal with another one of these guys, and another one of these guys. And just keep going to the right. And then we have another one of these. Now, for this guy here, obviously being speedrun, you probably just want to go past him. So you want to jump over him or just follow him. He won't shoot you if you're behind him and you don't shoot him first. Otherwise, if you shoot him, he will shoot again. But if you want to do the safe way, you want to take him out carefully, you just take him out from up here. And wait for him to jump into your shots. So you can take the time to do that if you choose to. If you've taken a ton of damage, you want to do it safely. That's how you do it. Otherwise, keep going forward, keep going down, and then last but not least, there's one more of these turrets to deal with. And then a pipe. This pipe is the straightaway. There are 2 guys in this pipe, both Sniper Joes. If you take 3 shots and keep running, usually you'll do enough damage. You can just keep going. Straight away to the boss. Woo! Alright, and as we said before, this is Waveman. He is weak to the Shark Blades, so we will switch to Shark Blades. Woohoo! And take him out. This is one of the guys that does act differently. He actually jumps a few times, throws a bunch of water. Jumps a few times, throws a bunch of water. As you can see, you can do it one by one, or you can just mash your shots on him and take him out. So that's Sharkman. Or not, that's Waveman. And guess what Waveman gives you? Water. He gives you water. Take a guess. What boss in the game is weak to water? you got at least 4 more guesses. We got Oil Man. Oil Man could be weak against water. You never know. Blade Man, good rust. Bit Man, same thing, good rust. I got a feeling though we're gonna deal with Torch Man though. So let's go deal with Torch Man, shall we? Some weaknesses are obvious, some are not. I didn't think Shark was strong against Wave, but you know, whatever. So we're gonna have the stage load. Mash enter. Alright. So Torchman stage is a lot more labyrinthy than the other ones. It's a lot harder to... Oop, hi. I didn't even know you were there. I'm not usually here long enough to find you. Torchman stage is a lot more labyrinthy than the others. So I'm just going to go straight to take the path to the boss. Just try to sort of keep up with the video. So we immediately go down. You can jump on ladders. Obviously speed strat, jump on ladders. You can just boink. By the way, if you're holding up and you jump or down and you jump, you won't move. You have to actually stop, jump, and then let yourself fall. Because if at any point you hit the up or down arrow, you'll catch yourself on the ladder. So you go to the right, and then immediately hang a left. We'll find these guys, these laser guys down at the bottom. This is the other type of turret, by the way. The turret that shoots the purple orbs can only shoot in any 8 of the cardinal directions. The laser turrets can only shoot in 4 diagonal directions. So I could almost stand right under this guy and he won't hit me. Almost. But he still will. But the difference between the purple turrets and the laser turrets, aside the direction they can shoot, is that these blue beams will actually ricochet at least 2 or 3 times. That's where the laser turrets usually get you, is off of a ricochet. And that can be bad. By the way, you do still fall through the floor if you take a shot from a ricochet laser too. And you can see up here, there's 2 of them. And the timing is really bad. So we're going to just keep dropping down to the right. Here we have platforms. Obviously, the only direction we want to go is still to the right. From here, you can take a leap and hit the ladder, or you can come down and then jump up on the ladder, whichever one works. And then this ladder, up. If you fall down here, oh no, I fell, oh, woe is me, you just go back to the left. There's some places where you can't just do that. If you miss the ladder, you're kind of stuck for a bit. But this ladder goes a long way up. And at the top, you have another one of your Environmental Man friends. By the way, this game was originally designed to be a game called, or something similar to the name of, Environmental Man. And I'll let you figure out whose sprite that was supposed to be. Alright, here is a fun one. This one you don't want to miss because you're going to be taking a bit of a hike. So, that one takes you all the way back down to the bottom. That will be a lot of wasted time. Your goal here is to obviously get into that pathway. So, if you take the jump here, you want to hold left, or hold right. Did I say left? I said left. And you can also drop through platforms, apparently. The ones that let you. You can't drop through that one, though. Anyways, hold right, in you go. Platform here. There's 2 ways here you can go. Now, the way you go here is dependent on whether or not you want an E-tank. The top route is slower, but again, as I said, you get an E-tank out of it. So you can either go here, let him fire, and then jump like that. Or if your corner jumping skills are good, you can actually just do that. And this way will lead you to an E-tank. But you do have to make this ladder. So I'm going to do that just for the sake of showing you. There is a Sniper Joe. Up here, hold right. And you get an E-tank. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you can actually just take this ladder down here and go right. Just keep going right. There is a shooter there. Watch out. Either way, it'll bring you over here. So if you really, 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 really desperately want an E-tank, this is probably one of the safest ways to get it. It's right there. So you take that right path up and around. Otherwise, you just follow down. From here, again, if your jump skills are good, you can just hit this here. Otherwise, you have to climb up here. And this is where the purple laser dodging gets really, really, really ridiculous. You will get nailed repeatedly on this climb the first couple times you do this. So just do the best you can. Practice that a bunch, and you should be all right. The lasers get really, really bad there. So I'll do that again, and you'll see probably me doing it the second time how bad those lasers can be. So from the bottom, jump, 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 jump. You can wait for the beams sometimes like that. That would have been a better time to wait for the beam there. Here he is, straight through the floor. See, that's where this one gets bad, because you will get knocked through the floor repeatedly. And then just go to the right. Careful, there is one more guy up there, but he can't hit you through the floor. This guy, one of your final obstacles, Sniper Joe. Keep going to the right. Now, there's 2 ways you can take here. You can either just drop straight down like I did there, or go down and around. If you drop straight down, you have to take the lower path and around, but as you take the right path, you'll see that you have guys to contend with. It is faster, if you can make it, to take this direct right path, because you're going to end up coming there anyways. But keep in mind, you'll have to contend with that guy. We'll still have to contend with him on the other side. So I'm going to grab my E-Tank. I'm going to use it. So you can take the lower path. This is much slower, because now you have to go all the way around. But if you miss, fear not, you can still make it. So this comes out here. This guy here is where that guy comes out. So you see there's two guys above me. So if you can make it here, that's great. That's one less climb that you have to do. If not, you can still make it from the bottom. So you want to try to make that ledge. You got two guys to contend with, so hopefully you have enough health left to deal with them. And you can see we're at the boss. And as I said, we have Torchman's weakness, even though Torchman is dancing in the water. I don't understand why he's dancing in the water when his weakness is water. But we're going to hit him with water. Pew! By the way, water is great because it hits him all 3 times. So he goes down very, very, very quick if you're in his face and you fire the water beam. He goes down very fast. So I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to flippy some things here. Excuse me. Excellent. Alright, so Mega Man has defeated Torchman. Thank you. Alright. After Torchman, we fight Bitman. So, Sharkwave, Torch Bit, and then Blade Oil. So it's kind of this weird tube pattern all the way around. We're on another oil platform because this game really has a thing for oil platforms. Keep in mind again, this game was supposed to be Environmental Man, and we're dealing with all of these corporate thugs on these oil rigs. There's no political or thing going on here. So we want to go up and into this room. So as you can see, there is a one up there. If you really want to stack up on one-ups, you can go up and around to get that. Otherwise, your goal here is to just jump up to this platform. You can go straight through Environmental Man down here if you want to. Kind of a waste of health or a waste of time to fight somebody. But you can just take that and follow that through. Like that. Or you can go the upper path, which is a little faster. We're going to do the upper path. As you can see, there's a lot of paths that you can take to go to the same place. Some are just faster than others. So if you take the upper path, you have to contend with the oil drop, but it leads you straight back to the same place here. But you can see that took a lot less time. We have another Environmental Man to deal with here. Drop down, hit one of those, and through. So that is the first chamber. Then you come out to deal with the bee. Well, we don't want to have to deal with the bee. So normally when we come through here, you just jump all the way over and fall down here. Not all the way because Environmental Man just shot me. Good shot, sir. Very good shot. So let's do that again. So normally you come out here, you jump off the side of this, straight down, and hold the right. Hold right. See, that's what I wasn't doing. I wasn't holding right. See, I'm not actually doing the run right now, so now I'm just getting confused. Hold right. Thank you. I'm getting confused! I haven't had the record for long, so bite me. So hold right. Hold right. See, it's kind of hard to hit. Down and hold right. There. So this is where you want to land, because you're going to go back in this building again. So you want to hold right. Alright. The easiest path here is just to go the top path. As you can see, there is a shooter up there. But the reason why you want to go the upper path is because the door is up top down up there. If you go down, you have to do some climbing to get there. Either way, you go left through the top, right through the bottom part of this. You're just zigzagging. And I didn't want to jump on that. And you want to come out this door. And then fall. And then drop down the ladder. Because you don't want to fall there, because if you fall there, you will die. So you want to come down the ladder here. Come down this ladder. You will fall if you will die if you fall. Alright, so you come into this bottom part, back to the left, so you zigzag through, essentially. And there's an open hole! Warning! Open hole! Warning! Okay. If you jump through there, you will die. So you don't want to fall. The hardest jump here is obviously this one in the middle. You want to make sure you be very careful about this droplet. And just keep going. And there's more droplets. There's more droplets. Apparently the oil itself hurts you. It's not even lit on fire in this stage. It's just oil. I thought oil was good for machines, because Mega Man is technically a machine of sorts. Also, use the ladders to your advantage. You can pop up, hit them a few times, drop back down. Use your ladders to advantage, just like any Mega Man game. You can't really hit him until you're actually on the ledge, but you can start shooting right as soon as your body crests over. So that's handy. Now, this would be faster if you could jump through this beam underneath, but you can't. So we got to make our way back down again. And we just want to fall down here, and thankfully I didn't fall all the way down, so I can just come back up the ladder here. Alright, laser time. Don't care. There's a health here. If you need health, you can drop down and get it. Otherwise, you need to go up. So you want to try to do your best to make it across this gap. Let him shoot and then jump it. If you miss, grab the health, go up. If you don't miss, good for you. Go up, 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 up. Pray that this bee doesn't do you a bad. It's another laser. Just keep following the path here. This is a little more linear, thankfully. Watch out for the droplet. Watch out for the shot. Watch out for the wasp. Don't jump in the lava or the burning oil. It will hurt you a lot. As a little fun factoid, if you take a hit, if you look right above, ow, how am I getting hit? You can get hit by jumping into the top in here. Okay, good to know. If you get hit on the right side, right about where that oil barrel is, you can see that there is a gap there you can run through. If you drop down and just try to jump through, you're going to get hit by the blue beam, the purple beam rather. But if you've already dropped, you've already taken damage, it doesn't hurt to make the attempt to slide through there instead of going to the left and around. That is a much shorter distance. And like I said, at that point, you've probably already taken a hit. But then again, come down, come down, come down. And take a hit there. Come down through the door. Watch out for the droplets everywhere. And fall through! You could take that ladder all the way back up, but it's not going to do you any good. So you do want to fall down here. You do want to make sure you hold to the right. This wall of laser, or this drill, I suppose that's what that is not going to hurt you. But if you hold right, you're going to land on this platform at the bottom. And here's where we play good old classic Mega Man jumping. If you look here, there is an E-tank. I, to this day, still have no idea how to get to it. If you figure it out, great, good for you. I do know that there is invisible platforms up here. Wow, excuse me. But I have no idea how to get to them, or how to cross them. So just make yourself careful. Be careful, go across. This ledge here, this last yellow ledge, be careful. There is an invisible ledge right above it, and you will bonk it. So you want to make sure you're as close to the left as you can get before you jump, because when you bonk it, you'll end up going down very quickly. So that's probably the most treacherous jump, is off this last yellow box. And then, of course, up here, you can jump up here, save yourself a climb all the way up. Oh, we're dealing with Bitman. What do we do, Bitman? Oh, this place is only partially on fire. Let's finish that off with Torchman. This is the other alternate. You can only hit him when he's running. Ow. And thankfully, there are checkpoints in some decent places. In this case, it's right... pretty much all of the areas, the checkpoint's right behind the boss. There's a checkpoint right behind the boss. If you beat the boss, or fail rather to beat the boss, you'll usually start right before him without having to worry about any other enemy but the boss himself. In we go. We do have to wait for him to fire his laser beam and his needles, and then just take him out. You can take the hit and then just waylay on him. You can take your time jumping over him, but by that point, you should be okay on health, theoretically, and you can just tank a hit and just burn him down. Next is Blade Man. Blade Man stage is probably the most difficult. for one very specific reason. We're going to be doing some more swimming. That's fine. That's not the hard part. So we're going to come up here, jump in the pool of water, jump in the next pool of water, and go straight down through the pipes. Now here, there may be a better way to do these pipes than what I'm doing, but this works well enough for me. You go straight down, straight down, straight down. That fishy guy over there that fires all the little Nemos can sometimes fire them straight into this pipe, which is annoying as all get out, but it can happen. So you just want to shoot down that pipe over here, down this pipe. You will see that we do have two new enemies. We have a spinning spike reel, and we do have the propellers here. Theoretically, the propellers push you, but as far as I'm concerned, they're only good as just blocking your way from going down that particular pipe. Because if I do this, yeah, nothing. It's just a wall. So I'm going to go down, keep going down, and then hang it left immediately. Now, if you go down too far, you're going to run through those spikes, and that's not good. So hit left. There's a squiddy here. It's really not a good idea to play with the squid. They will usually win. And as you can see, this is a really bad place to play with the squid. But here's another E-Tank. This is another really good E-Tank location. Get up to the top and jump. To get through this, you have to jump. You have to hold up and jump. That's the only way you can make it through there. Because if you just tap it, you just kind of you have to hold the jump, and you'll do a full jump. So that's a really good place to get an E-Tank. You're already going to be tangling with them. If you get hit once, you should be able to slide over and grab that E-Tank. But for this stage, that E-Tank is a good safety. I do usually go after it. So then we have to deal with another grass seaweed guy here. And just go up. Up, 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 up. Keep in mind, your direction that you want to go is generally up. There is a little bit of a right, but up is the general direction from there. So another water tank. Another way to go down. Another eel guy. If you hold up to the top here, you stay on the top of this. Even if he runs by you, you shouldn't take any damage. There you go. Come down. Here's a little tricky area, because here you have the problem with the propellers, which doesn't really do anything. So, yeah, like I said, they don't hurt you. They don't really do anything. They just block you. If you come over here, you'll see there's two of these spinning spikes. Where you want to go is right down there between them. So it might be kind of hard to make a good aim shot right there to kind of shoot down under. You're going to probably get hit. So there's no sense in doing that when all you have to do is go straight down from there and then straight in. So you just save yourself some time and hassle doing that. Now the squid, hang to the left, go up. And you can see we're already getting near the later part of the stage. This room, once you get in here, you don't want to move. As soon as you get past the squid on the right there and come up and under here, just let yourself be carried by the waves. Except there. There you want to be careful, because there is a fish face and there is an environmental man. Both of them will body the heck out of you. If you're going quickly enough and you fly straight through, you should dodge both of them. If you're slow like I was, you're going to get bodied by both of them. So, don't get bodied. Now, the next part here is easy. It will kill your frames, so just I apologize, but that's just the way it is. You run to the left. Bubble Man stage all over again. Okay, and we're done. If you fall down, there is a squid in the tank below, but you just make your way back to the right, climb the ladder, and try it again. And all the way down. And at the bottom of the stairs, we have another plant. This one won't shoot at you, but he will go very quickly if he sees you. And this is where the stage starts getting really bad, because now you're starting to deal with the lasers. This one's not particularly bad. Here, you just wait for it to fire the first shot and move. And move quickly. But you don't have to jump on this first ledge. That's the mistake I made. You can actually make the jump to the second. Let him fire again. He does that shot does get blocked by that ledge, so you can do that. If you need health and you don't want to use your E-Tank, you can come down here and deal with a Met. But you don't have a whole lot of jumping room. There is a health container behind him, but you're probably going to take more damage than it's worth. So just take the second ladder. Here we have another pew-pewer. If you come close enough, he'll start shooting up this direction. There it is. These shots do fire through the block, so you need to be careful. And just go, go. There's a second one. If you fall, just make your way back to the right. And try not to take too many shots from these things. There is the second one, like I said. Watch out. You're more likely to get hit by the second one than you are the first one, normally. And make your way through. That's just timing. It's just pushing through as best you can. Water droplet here. This is probably the worst room in the game. Aside the jumping areas of Wily stages, this room is by far the worst room in the game, and let me show you why. There is a laser just off screen, and you have to contend with that laser and the water droplet. So you want to start jumping right after he fires. Now, I made that look easy, but that, believe me when I say, is by far the hardest spot in the game, period. You will spend a lot of lives there. And take him out, move up, keep going, keep going. Oh, there's a guy up there. Yep, they're everywhere. So you can take your time to take these out, but again, remember, you take the time to take them out, you're taking time. Watch the droplets, another down and around. Here, we just want to go above and beyond. This is a laser, so we only have to wait for him to shoot the diagonal once. Now, here is a conundrum. If you need another E-tank, you can make the attempt for this one. I'm going to make the attempt for this one. This was one of the safety tanks that I like to go after. The problem is that droplet over there is terrible to time. It's terrible to time. This thing can't shoot you here off the ladder immediately, and it can't shoot you through the blocks right above it. So you do have a moment to think about it. Again, like I said, this one is terrible to time. There we go. So I've got the E-tank. Now, there's another safety tank you can take if you'd like. Don't wait there or there. But there is another safety health there. So if you need the extra health, great. If not, keep going to the left. There are 2 paths you can take here. 3 paths, technically. You can fight for this upper path if you really want to. And you could also fight for the middle path. I don't recommend the middle path whatsoever. But the upper path is pretty quick if you can make it. Otherwise, if you don't feel like taking a super risk at all, you can just take the lower path, and you'll just have to deal with a Sniper Joe. Above me, you see the middle path. Never take the middle path. Those guys will ruin your day. You'll make it, but they will ruin your day. If you feel like contending for the upper path, that's a great way to go, because that's the fastest. But you are dealing with 2 guys that are shooting at you, and you do have to deal with the laser initially to get over in there. Now, my record doesn't... My path doesn't normally take that, because I don't like having to deal with the laser at the beginning. So I just take the bottom path, take out the Sniper Joe, and then come this way. As you saw, there were 2 enemies there that I had to contend with. That's fine. Big, easy enough to deal with. The other positive of dealing with these guys here that I'm shooting down is that guy can knock you down this ladder because he can snipe you as soon as you get up there. So it might not be a bad idea taking that path, period, just to deal with the sniping. So I'm going to start trying to do that in my runs. Here you have this dropper, and you'll have more lasers, obviously. Just keep moving quickly, and you'll make it through. That's probably about the easiest laser to have to deal with in this stage. Because here, he can't hit you. Here, he can't hit you. Here, you can't hit you. So just deal with the guys on the bottom. Make your way up here, and have a nice day. Alright. If you didn't think we were having enough fun time with the water, guess what? We have more water. But this one can be easy if you can slide to the left far enough. So I'm going to slide to the left, take the hit, and bypass all of these guys in this room. So, good luck with that. Blade Man! Blade Man is weak to Bitman! Now let me show you what I mean earlier. if you miss your shot. This is by far the slowest shot in the game. So if you miss with Bit, you're going to be waiting a very long time. So back to the earlier explanation, you want to keep firing as much as you can until just before they're ready to jump. Because if you do, you're going to have to wait for that shot to clear the screen. The bit beam, which is just Electric Man's shot, basically, except for the verticals, is probably the slowest attack. The rest of them are fine. The rest of them are pretty good. And as you've noticed, I haven't switched to my extra attacks at all this entire time, except for the bosses themselves. But just for demonstration, I'll show you what each of them do. This is the pea shooter. You've been seeing that all along. You've seen the bit blaster. That's all that is. You see the shark boomerang, shoots out and back, which is kind of neat. The water, which shoots 3 water bubbles, because Bubble Man. By the way, that's a hint for what Wily's weak against. L is your blade. It shoots 3 caltrops vertically. That's very, very powerful, and that is actually what this boss is weak against. And, of course, the torch. The torch beam and the oil beam are exactly the same, except they're different colors. That's all. That's the only difference. So we're in the Oil Man stage. Oil Man stage, guess what? We have a ladder to climb. We love ladders, right? We jump in this pool of oil, which, despite earlier having oil dropped in our face, clearly has no effect on Mega Man now. Go figure. Climb the ladder. Go to the right. Oh, there's a guy spitting fire and dropping fire. So there's a health. There's a one up there, by the way. So watch out. Oh, there's oil. Again, oil. And we do take damage from that. I don't know why. The game needed to make up its mind. Best path to go here is straight across. If you miss, you have to contend with this dude down here. But you can make your way back up if you need to. It's slow and tedious, but you'll make it. There's a guy here. If you want to go for the one-up, there's going to be a place above here that you can come down and come after that. But you have to deal with the Sniper Joe. Here we have a laser to contend with. If you stand to the left, he will hit you every time. So you want to wait until right after he fires to the right, otherwise that happens. And don't stand where he can hit you there, because that'll happen too. Here, after you've come off of this, you just keep heading to the right. And you can actually just drop straight down onto that platform by walking off onto it. Watch out for, obviously, the bullet guy here. Don't fall all the way down, otherwise you'll have to deal with 2 of these guys. Here's a safety health up here, I believe. Of course, another guy shooting at you, so you're going to have to be very quick and very careful about it. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth it, so don't do it. Off the ledge, jump, and you're through. Another droplet of stuff. Yeah, that health thing is totally not worth it. Don't bother. And there's another shooter guy down here. Sniper Joe. You shouldn't have to drop down there, again. You just want to pop off this ledge here onto there. I don't believe you can make that from there, though. So you have to drop down and make your way across. Watch out, otherwise you have to deal with a oil canister, a Sniper Joe, and a turret. That's a super punishing drop there. Remember that one-up I mentioned earlier? Yeah, that's down here. And you have to deal with a Sniper Joe, who will hit you at least once or twice, and there's your one-up. By the way, if you die all of your lives on a single area, you just have to restart the area. That's the only punishment. That's not bad on any stage except for Wily stage. Wily stage is super punishing, because Wily stage is super long. Here, you really want to come up here, and you really want to deal with the bee that I just dealt with, and the environmental man, because you will have a bad time if you don't. Safety-wise, you really want to take them both out. If you're quick and lucky, you'll be able to make it up here without having to deal with the bee. Just keep making your way to the left. Here, the best thing to do is just keep going left for as long as possible. If you want an extra health, once you get to this laser room, there is a health at the bottom of this. That's free. That one I would recommend compared to the other one. Just wait for this guy to shoot. Nope, I guess not. Okay. Alright. There's another bee you have to deal with here. Hopefully, all you need to do is just keep going across the top ledges as before. And now you're into the final tall chamber. Just drop down. And at the bottom, more Sniper Joes! And guess what? More Environmental Men! We're just gonna ignore them. Jumped at the bottom. Another Sniper Joe, another laser. More Environmental Men. You can take them out. Be careful about their goo beams. Goo beams. Again, do not get bodied by these guys. They can kill you in 4 hits from max health. Obviously, by this point, you probably won't have full health. So just keep making your way through. You're going to see another laser duder here. We're just going to drop down once he's fired. There's another Environmental Man! Surprise! Now here is another enemy. There's the Met. This is the first one we either really, really need to make sure we kill, or if we have enough health, we can just body through him. Here's a trick to killing him. You stand just off screen, you pew-pew, and he's dead. So that's how you do it. That's how you kill him if you can get off screen just enough to hit him. If he's on screen and you can't do anything about it, well, you just have to shoot at him and dodge bullets until he's dead. But that's the trick I've learned to be able to take him out. You stand just off screen and you can actually hear the damage hits as you hit him off screen. And then just keep shooting until he's dead. Come up here, and then just go right. Just go right. Just go right. Another Sniper Joe, more damage. Watch out for the droplet. And Oil Man's Lair! No, we're not quite done yet, but just follow the path here. Pretty linear at this point. This bee can ruin your day. The bullet probably won't. Just ignore the bullet. So another bee in here. That's the only thing that's in this room that can do anything to you. And we have the boss. There we go. Let's go take out the boss. And he's dead. The Torchman and Blade Man go down extraordinarily fast because the blade attack and the water attack both shoot in 3s. And if you're close enough, you can hit the boss with all 3 hits, and they go down like a sack of potatoes. Then, last but not least, we're greeted with the Wily stage. Every good Mega Man has to have a good Wily stage. This one is not good. Actually, it's not that. This stage is actually pretty cool. It's very well designed. It's just, it's very, 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 very punishing very quickly. So we got 2 lasers. You can see they pew-pew all day long. You want to dodge them at least up to this corner. Now you're greeted with probably the second most annoying obstacle in the game. Jumping. Not just jumping, but specifically jumping over the acid pits. These acid pits are one-hit death no matter what. You could be in your invincibility frames and they'll still kill you. Keep that in mind because that does matter later on. And I will show you exactly where that matters. But here you can see this laser shot. And if you watch the laser track, it goes all the way up to that top ledge. And it will hit you on that top ledge. If you get hit backwards on any one of these ledges, you're dead. Period. It will throw you into the acid pit, so you don't want to get hit. So the best timing here is to go right after he's done shooting. And you can push right and just walk straight off of that ledge there and land here. And you'll be safe. But you do want to make sure you keep jumping across the rest of these. So, as you go through, you'll see... Oh, no! I'm melting! Okay. Yeah, those guys are pretty annoying. More environmental mans. Walk off. But, you can fight these guys. Oh, no! We can't fight these guys. Oh, I lost all my lives. Dr. Wily's castle is really tough. Press C to retry. Yeah, we're going to retry. So yeah, it's really, really dangerous. The reason why I did that, I wanted to get rid of any extra lives and I wanted to get rid of the E-Tanks. Because there is only one E-Tank that's really worth getting in Wily's castle. And I'm going to show you where that's at too. So we're going to take across these platforms. And we're going to deal with this guy by following him. And then getting bodied. You can actually kill him without getting bodied. Or you can stand on that ledge and take him out. Just don't take a hit. Okay. Don't take a hit or you're dead. So, we have plenty of lives. We're going to keep running here. We're going to switch back to our pea shooter. By the way, refights. No Mega Man game's good without the refights. Here we have our usual contention, laser beams. We need to go left. So when you come up here, you might take a shot from the first laser, but do your best to platform through here without taking any more hits than you need to. And you come up to this. This you should be able to make every time with a jump. There's more than enough room there to make that jump to that ledge. If you fall down, you'll have to deal with an Environmental Man body, and that's not a good thing. So, the Mets. Again, you can contend with them by fighting them like this, walking up close enough, dodging the bullets, and then doing this. Or you can just go off screen and then just take him out that way. After him, you have another laser turret. You're just going to walk by that. Sharkman! Oh, by the way, we didn't fight Sharkman with his weakness. Oil! Which makes complete and utter sense, actually. That makes total sense. That is absolutely sense made. By the way, the three weapons that you want to make sure that you save, that you don't completely waste by the end of the game, is your Bit Beam, your Wave Beam, and your Shark Beam. There are places where you can get more, but you want to make sure you don't just drain those. And you'll find out here in a minute why. That guy will hit you in this little tunnel. That's usually, that just happens. You could go to the right here, and I believe there is a health up over here somewhere. So if you really want to take the risk for that health up and deal with that guy, you can come over here. I don't normally, because it's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. So, back to the left. There's a shooter here. If you push yourself against this edge, he'll just shoot straight down, which is fine. You can stand sort of on the left edge of this and you won't get hit. Jump up, and you're through that. Here is obstacle number 2, jumping pit number 2 or 3 in the stage. You can make the jump from the top ledges, don't even bother going down. And we're on boss number 3, which is Waterman, who is weak to Shark Beam. Let him do his thing. If you hit this guy before he jumps, it makes him hesitate with his shot, which is especially more noticeable if you're just using the pea shooter. But you can kind of hesitate his jump and shot attack. He'll just keep jumping if you can put enough fire down on him. This is probably the one place in the game I want you to pay attention to, is this here. This doesn't seem like a terrible obstacle. We came in the bottom door. We want to go through the upper door, correct? Correct. Be careful how high you jump here, because if you jump too low, you will actually push yourself through the bottom, and you cannot re-enter this way. So you end up having to kill yourself, and you basically soft-lock the game. Because this guy's dead. I don't know if you can make it back through after you've killed yourself and beaten this guy. It doesn't give you the checkpoint until you've made it through that upper door. By the way, you do get a checkpoint after you beat the bosses. So if you die, you go back to the door post the previous boss you've beaten. Not before the previous boss you've beaten, but after the boss you've beaten. So here you want to be very careful and jump to that top door. You see how I was halfway through the floor anyways? If you're high enough, you should get pushed up. If you're not, you're out of life and you're out your run. So we got 2 of these guys to deal with here. They're not too bad. Just deal with them. Don't get bodied. There's a third one down here. Don't get bodied. Little health up. Take it up. Take it up. Take it up. We have a Sniper Joe. Use those stairs, please. The stairs are your friend. Or ladders, excuse me. You could go right there and die if you really want to. There is a health tank or one up over there. Not worth it. Up here, we deal with another cannon. The easiest way to deal with this one is just come up there and jump immediately. He shouldn't fire until you've actually gotten up here already, if you move quickly enough. So if I come down and jump, I should be able to get up there without him hitting me. But then I could just keep going from there. There is another shooter here. This one's kind of tough to deal with because he can knock you off the ladder. If you're staying out here, he shouldn't hit you. If you go low enough, he'll shoot you down. So as long as you've pushed yourself up towards the upper half of this ladder, he won't hit you. But as soon as he shoots, jump and go, and you're good. Next, we have another refight. Surprise, surprise. We have Oil Man, who dies almost instantly to the Blade Beam. Take him out. Moving on. Switch back to my pea shooter. Now here is where you have the choice. If you feel that you absolutely need to have the E-Tank, because Wily is a pain in the backside. If you need the E-Tank, go up. And we have to deal with another Med. Med is dealt with. We have 2 lasers to contend with. There's the E-Tank. Let him shoot, and then go down. From here, you can do one of 2 things. You can actually jump from this top ledge and just hang a right, or just jump and hang a right from any other ledge. If you drop straight down, you will die. The only ledge you can see when you drop down to begin with is this one above me. That's the only one you're going to see. You will not see these 2 ledges otherwise. You cannot drop straight down. You will die the first time you come in through here, almost guaranteed. So hang a right as far as you can, and you'll come over to this side. And we come with the second to last obstacle. The jumping, again. These jumps are pretty easy enough to make for these ones. But this one here is easy to miss because you have to push yourself into this one to make it. If you notice how I clip into the side of it or bump into the side of it, you have to ride that all the way to the top. That one's not too bad. This one is the worst jump in the game. This one here. Because you're still faced with the fact that you do have to ride the jump up a little bit. But if you don't jump from the left, almost leftmost part of this platform, you are just simply not going to make it. Because you have to make the full jump. But obviously, since I just said, that's not too bad. The rest of these jumps aren't terrible. But that right there, this one here, is bad. Because usually when you land, your first tendency is to want to jump immediately. And you aren't going to make it from there. You have to be on the left side. And then make the rest of the jumps. You can actually make this jump here to this one here. You can save a little bit of time there. And you're safe for now. There's one more jumping room, which is coming up. If you go straight down, you're going to meet Environmental Man. I'm going to use my E-Tank because I don't want to die right at this point. Another Environmental Man. He is shooting his green ooze at you like a good Environmental Man should do. You will do one of 2 things for here. You will either come up on the ladder and just jump over here to this ledge and then take him out carefully. Or if you're feeling guts, you drop down into his face and then rush to the right. Because he can still hit you if you jump on that ledge. You can make the attempt to rush it, but keep in mind at this point you've probably lost most of your health. I know I'm usually pretty low on health by this point. So it's not normally a good idea to drop down into his face. It's usually safer just to carefully take him out. Because then you're rushing this other jump here, and you might end up missing it. Jump there. Your obstacle there is the ceiling, so you might lose some of your jump when you hit it. So you want to make sure, again, you're on as far as right as you can. Same situation, And we're done with the jumping! Woo! Blade Man! And I've got a few free hits. Bit Beam. Saving as much of the bit beam as I can, because we're going to use that bit beam here very shortly. But we have one more dude to take care of. One more mini boss or mini boss, Robot Master. There's 2 guys here again. All right. There is probably some health or something up here if you feel like you want to gutsy and go after. Let's see if it's up there. Is there health up there? It might just be a waste of time. Yep, it's probably just a waste of time. Is there health up here? I don't know what's up here. I've never come up here. It's not worth coming up here, I imagine. Yeah, there's health. Woo! I got health! Woo! Not worth it. Alright, not worth it. You just keep going straight down. Oh, I lied. There's one more jumping section. Now, one thing I've noticed, at least with the DOSBox version that I have in this game, for some reason, this particular room speeds up. I don't know why, but be aware of it. Especially if you're running the same DOSBox version I'm running for the DOSCathlon. For some reason, this speeds up this room. So be very careful and be aware that you will move much farther, much faster here. I don't know why. But you are done with the jumping for real this time. Onwards to the last sub-boss, then the bosses. Pew pew pew. Okay, this guy is my torch man, so I want my water beam. 1, 2, he's dead. Preserve your water as much as you can because you're going to need it. Now we're going up against the first Wily boss. Since now that you've gone through the gauntlet, you'll notice that this boss is actually the same boss from Mega Man 1 DOS. He is the same walker. You will take some damage here, but thankfully they saw nice enough to give you some tanks, some health. Just do your best to take him out without getting too much damage. Not that it matters here because you do get more than enough. Ow! Hit me through the wall. Hit me through the wall. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Okay, he's dead. So apparently you can't get hit through the wall there. That's unfortunate. Grab some health. Make sure you recharge your shark blades to the maximum, or as close as possible. And I have more than enough water there, so I'm going to just go ahead and do what I just said. Now, at this point, you have to make a decision. You have to say, do I have enough health or energy to take on the final 2 forms of Wily at once? If you think you have enough health, which I don't feel that I do, and I have extra lives, I could come in here and kill myself immediately. See what I just did there? The problem with this boss is that if you get too close to Wily, the green acid is actually just a bit above the platform, so you can literally just walk right into the side of it and die. That's why you have to be really careful with that. Because even if you have iframes and you walk into it, you die, period. That's why I mentioned that earlier. So, knowing that his weaknesses are water and shark beam, which is actually great that they decided to make him weak against water, because you throw water pretty far and it goes down. That's great because he goes up and down in the water, up and down in the acid. So I'm going to push myself to the left and just keep firing and keep firing and keep firing. You will get hit here eventually. Period. Alright, so eventually you use enough of the water, you break his shields, you bust out the shark blades, and you go to town. Amazingly, I haven't gotten hit yet, and I don't know how. Amazingly, I haven't gotten hit yet, I don't know how, and that's Wily. But those little glow sticks will keep firing and firing and firing and firing. You're really not going to have an easy time dodging those. The best place to stand is right against the door, about as close as you can get. Chances are good you're still going to keep getting pelted by the glow sticks. No matter what you do, you're just going to keep getting pelted by them, and you're just going to have to deal with them. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it. But if you stand on the left side and you're lucky and you've picked right about the correct spot that I've picked, you don't take any damage whatsoever, and you won't have to move at all. That is probably the absolute safest possible place you could have been. That's where I was there. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting hit by the glow sticks. They don't do a lot of damage, but you want to make sure, again, that you stay as far to the left as you can. Throw the water until the shield's gone, then carefully, choicefully, throw the shark blades until you've killed them. You will probably run out of shark blades. You can switch to the pea shooter, the pea shooter, and that should give you more than enough of everything that you need to be able to kill Wily. So that's it. That's Mega Man 3 for DOS.